Yesterday we were going through Vyasa. Go nama. Goyam adhyaso nama. Uchate. Smriti Rupa. Smriti Rupa means you must have remembered something. That only is project. When even by mistake, you are not projecting something which you do not know. You must have known Smriti Rupa. When you mistake a rope for a snake, you must have seen a snake earlier. It not be the first time. Smriti Rupa. Paratra Purvadrishtava Asa. In your friend, you are projecting that which you have seen earlier. Paratra Purvadrishtava Asa. Tam Kechiti different people express the same idea in different ways. Kechiti Anyatra Anyadharma Adhyasa iti bhava. That is, in the road, Sarpa Dharma, you see, because you have projected a serpent. So the Anyatra Anyadharmavadhyasa iti, Dharmadhyasa iti bhava. Kechiti Yatra Yadadhyasaha tat Tad viveka agraha nibandhano brahmanti. That is, where you see adhyasa, for example, snake in a rope, that is viveka agraha nibandhana. That is caused by the absence of viveka. Seeing things clearly, separately. Viveka means separately. You are not able to do that. That is the person. That is, slowly he is driving at the point, you are suffering from a disease. And that disease is original sin, ajnana. And that is the reason why you are not able to see a rope as a rope and a snake as this. Even for a moment, why should you make that ajnana? Viveka agraha nibandhano brahma iti, illusion. Brahma is illusion. Anyetu, some people say, yatra yadadhyasaha tasyaiva viparita dharmatva kalpanam acharite. Where you have adhyasa, that is shuktikayam rajatadhyasaha, like that, or this rajjau bhujangadhyasa, like that, wherever you have adhyasa, you are imagining different dharmas in the original object. Viparita dharmatva kalpanam achakshate. That kalpana means what is not real. Every word is suggestive. You get that kalpana which is not real. Therefore, you are not sure of the reality. You don't have viveka to distinctly separate things. And you are having illusions about things, having your own imaginations. Achakshate, kalpana. You see, for example, mirage, marichka. What is that? Some gentleman came. Sir, I can see the substratum for this superimposition. Wherever it is said, it is very clear. That is Rajju and Sarpa and Shuktika Rajata. But for Marichika, where is the substance, substratum? Fortunately for me, there is a very intelligent question. Where is the substratum? Fortunately for me, over the radio I heard a song. I am not familiar with all the songs of Sadashiva Brahmendra. But this particular song I had heard. There he says, Brahmani Tattva Jivatvam. That is, Jivatva Bhranti in Brahman is like this. He explains by giving a number of illustrations. And Yadvat Toye Chandra Dvitvam Tattva Jivatvam Brahmani Tattva Jivatvam. That is, in water you see two modes, two more than two. And do you accept there are more than one moon? You can't. But you see, Mr. Prime Minister, all that glitters is not gold. So that even though you see, you can't believe. Similarly, Jivatva is seeing experience that is not real. Yadvat toye chandra dvitvam tadvat jivatvam brahmani. And then he says, Bhanukare yadvat toyatvam tadvat jivatvam brahmani. What is the cause of Marichika? The sunbeam, the sun rays, and creating this optical illusion for you as water. That is some reflection. And you mistake it to be water. So what is the substance here on which something is superimposed? Bhanukara, that is Surya's rays. This is difficult to catch. I had heard the song, therefore I put it. Oh, he was so happy. He did sarcasm. Sir, I had this doubt for a very long. Anyway, so Tadvat Jiva, like this he gives many examples. So we Sarvathabi to Anyasya Anyadharmava Bhasakam Navyati Charati. So whatever may be the opinions of different scholars, they all have that. One says it is imagination, another says it is absence of viveka. Whatever may be the different scholars say, one thing is very clear: you are superimposing the dharmas of one object on another. You are confusing the dharmas of one object for another object. So anyasya anyadharmavabhasatam navyapacharati. This is the rule. You get it. Your own opinion may be slightly different, but this rule is observed in everybody's opinion. Anyasya anyadharmavabhasatam navyapacharati. Tatha cha loke anubhavaha shuktikadi rajatavad avabhasate. And this is in our common day-to-day experience. Shuktika, like silver, it is shining. Avabhasate, ekaschandraha sadvitiyavaniti. One moon appears as two. Katham punaha pratyagatmani avishaye adhyasaha vishaya tadharma. That is, Shankaracharya himself is raising doubts. That is Purvapaksha. And suppose there is a Purvapakshi. He says, sir, how can Pratyagatman is Avishaya? It can never be objectified. That is why it is called Pratyagatman. Kaschidriya Pratyagatmanamaikshata Amritachakshu Amritatvaksha. Going there, how can Adhyasa take place? They are Vishayas. You superimpose one over another, and these dharmas are superimposed on the dharmas of another, and they suffer from illusion. Pratyagatmani illusion. It is an intelligent question. Pratyagatmani avishaye adhyasa. It is eternal subjects. Pratyagatma is never the object. Adhyasaha vishaya tadharmana. This adhyasa is not possible. Purvapakshi is saying. Shankaracharya says, Sarvahi puro avasthite vishaye Sarvohi puro avasthite vishaye Vishayantaram adhyasyati. What is there in front of me? Vishayantara is adhyasta, superimposed. Yushma pratyaya apetasya cha pratyagatmanaha avishayatvam ravishi. Now you say that Pratyagatman is not Vishaya. Why? It is different, absolutely different from Yushma Pratyaya. Thou. Regarding Pratyagatman, nobody says thou. Even to the body you can say thou, not to the Pratyagatman. So you are saying that Yatha also becomes an object. The way he introduces a subject. That is our fundamental notion is shaken down. Brahmishi Uchate. Natavat ayam ekantena avishaya. Pratyagatman is true, what you say is avishaya. But absolutely avishaya, don't say that. Ekantena na avishaya. Then asmat pratyaya vishayatva. To indicate pratyagatman, what do you say? I. Asmat pratyaya. And what is the object denoted by I? Asmat pratyaya. Pratyagata. So is it not objectified? So it is not something unnatural. Asmat pratyaya vishayatva aparokshatvacha. Now this when something is Rajju is there, you superimpose serpent and then started imagining all sorts of things. Like that Pratyagatman is placed in front and you are superimposing on that? No, that I don't say. It is aparo. See, the point is this. Here, this is the object in front of me. It is pratyaksha. That is in front of my eyes. I can easily see. Nobody can fool me about this. Similarly, there is another with which you identify yourself. There can't be a clearer picture of the object than that. That is aparoksha, spiritual sadhana. You become one with God. It is most intimate. And therefore you can never say it is different. It can never be objectified. Becoming one with it itself is pratyaksha. We don't give the name pratyaksha because indriya is not used. We say aparoksha. Pratyaksha opposite is paroksha. And aparoksha is, since indriya is not used, intensely pratyaksha. This is what Sri Krishna said to Narendranath when he said, "Sir, have you seen God?" Yes, more intensely than I see. It is not merely pratyaksha, more intensely. Aparoksha. Aparoksha is very powerful. You are that. There is nothing unknown to you in that. And here you may miss some point, but there you can't miss. Completely it covers. Aparoksha. Pratyagatman is aparoksha. That is its speciality. Aparokshatvacha. Pratyagatma prasiddhe. And then nacha hayamasti niyamaha purovasthite eva vishaye vishayantaram adhyasitavyam iti. I think it would have been better if you had some original copy of BrahmaSutras. Bhashya. Easy to follow. Because splitting the words, if you read it by yourself, sometimes you will get confused. Nacha ayamasti niyamaha purovasthite eva. Now he says that when concrete objects are there, say Rajju is there you mistook a sarpa. So whenever adhyasa is there is no rule that always you should have concrete objects. Adhyasa can be there even if objects which are hazy, not concrete, not well defined, not clear. He says Akasha. Akasha is, people create that talamalinatva neelatvam. Talamalinatva. Akasha below, you create some blue color at sea. Akasha is blue? No. If Akasha were really blue, it should have been blue here also. But why only there? You create, you imagine. Whatever maybe the scientists say, that's a different thing. You imagine, it appears to you. Is Akasha, has Akasha blue color? No. You imagine. Therefore, Talamalinatvam. Akasha is colorless, but Balaha, people who do not know things, they create this blue color and say Akasha is blue. So it is not necessary that you should have a concrete object and then superimpose. No, not necessary. It is also possible. This led to Raman's seeing the blue color of the sea. No, at great depths it becomes almost dark. At shallow depths, it becomes green, bluish, blue, deep blue, like that, depending on it is that observation which led to Ramana later. So, fortunately, those days there were no planes. So Raman observed the sea for a long time, traveling in a ship. But today that would not have been possible. Gurovasthite eva vishaye vishayantaram adhyasitavidanti. There is no rule like that. Apratyakshehi. Akasha is apratyaksha. You can't see Akasha. Can you see? Apratyakshehi akashe balaha. People who do not know much. Kalamalinata adhyasyanti. Kalamalinatadi adhyasyanti. Kalamalinata means something, malinatva means dirty here, not to speak of dirty, some pollution there. And then further adhyasa is blue color. Evam aviruddhaha pratyagatmani api anatma dhyasa. Therefore, by these examples, you can understand that even in pratyagatman, this adhyasa can be. Akasha or me. Akasha comes very near the concept of Atman. And pratyagatman itself is objectified when you say I. So, pratyagatmanyapi anatma dhyasa. So, atmani anatma dhyasa is possible. Naturally possible. That is what we are doing here. Tam etam eva evam lakshanam adhyasam pandita avidyeti manyante. People who know this, they call this adhyasa, this kind of adhyasa, of mistaking one for another. Atasmin tat buddhi. And then what else? They call it as avidya, not knowledge. Avidya. Why is it called avidya? It doesn't give us any knowledge. You may see something, a serpent there in a wedge, but is it going to stay for a long time as serpent? So you are getting wrong knowledge. Therefore they call it avidya, panditaha, people who know. Tad vivekena cha vastu swarupavadharanam vidya mahu. Then what is vidya? Use viveka and try, you have mixed up now. Viveka agraha nibandhana. Without viveka you are able to see something. Use viveka, separate the two. And then what happens? Tad vivekena cha vastu swarupavadharanam. This is what we do. You should know clearly the vastu swarupa, avadharanam, vidya. This is called vidya. If viveka is not there and things are confused like this, it is avidya, adhyasa. If viveka is there and things are separated, that is vastu swarupa, avadharanam or vidya. Tatra evam sati yatra yadadhyasaha tat krutena doshena gunena va anumatrenapi sana sambadhate. How briefly he is using words just to drive home this point. Therefore, this is now clear. What is clear? Evam sati, with all that we said just now. Yatra yadadhyasa, where you make adhyasa, tat krutena doshena gunena va anumatrenapi cha sa na sambadhate. On the rope, we should superimpose the snake. Rope, does it get any poison of the snake? Rope, does it bite you? So, you may superimpose snake on the rope. Rope has nothing to do with the snake. Therefore, you may superimpose the whole world on Pratyagatman. Pratyagatman has nothing to do with this world. Then how will this come, sir? That will come later. So Pratyagatman has nothing to do with the world. You have superimposed. This is true wherever you do make this adhyasa. Wherever. Talamalina, there also. Akasha has got anything to do with that color that you see? No, never. You are super. And that is due to ajnana. And get rid of ajnana. That's all. Then you can see the vastu very clear. Vastu swarupa avadharana. Anumatrenapi na sambandhyate. Therefore, this is an argument against the Purvamimamsakas. For them, Atma is karta bhokta, both. He has to do all the yajnas, and then he has to enjoy the fruits of that in Swarga. So kartrutva bhoktritva are there in Atma according to them. That is adhyasta according to Shankara. Atman can never have anything. You imagine that. And therefore, how can you say Atman is that? You imagine. That is your definition of Atman. Aviveka. You are suffering from Aviveka. We have Vedic scholars said, yes, but you have not studied the Upanishads. The essence of the Vedas is in the Upanishads. You say it is in the Homakutta. So that is correct. Anadhyasta tametam avidyakhyam atmanah itaretaraadhyasam puraskrutya sarve pramana prameya vyavaharaha laukika vaidikascha pravruttaha. Now he comes to an important point. That is, whenever adhyasa is done, the original thing is there, what you are superimposing is there, and then you attribute these dharmas to the original, and original dharmas to the superimposed one. This anyonyadhyasa is the result, and whenever this anyonyadhyasa is made, that is the basis of all your pramanas. Vaidika pramana or laukika pramana. Veda, Aveda, Bhavanti, they say, for a realized soul, Vedas have no more meaning. Veda, Aveda, and why? He doesn't need it. He has gone to the very source of knowledge. And why Vedas? So he says, the pramana prameya vyavahara. That is, there is an object. You see it. Therefore you describe the object. And see it, there can't be any doubt about it. So that pratyaksha pramana. What is the prameya? The object. I have seen it. This is the object. And I am the pramata. This Tilputi is always there. It is there in Vaidika pramana. It is there in Laukika pramana. When you quote Shruti as the pramana, even there this is the adhyasta. Whatever is there, all pramana prameya vyavaharas are based on this adhyasa. Without adhyasa, for example, you declare a man to be an adhikari for conducting a sacrifice. That is adhyasa. Everybody is not entitled. Only people who have been declared to have this kind of an adhikara are entitled to that. Vaidika pramana. The Shastra says, this man can be an adhikari for that. That man cannot be an adhikari for this. For example, if a person has lost one limb, as Kumari Bhatta says, he can't be an adhikari for it. Because you make this adhyasa to call him an incapacity, a disabled fellow, and make him unfit for that. So what is he fit for? Kumari says sannyasa. Because there you don't prescribe any qualification. Here we have prescribed. He can't be an adhikari. So all this pramana prameya vyavaharas, wherever you have pramana, I have seen it. Pratyaksha you see it, you don't get any doubt. There also you must get doubt. Or suppose you see it through jaundiced eyes, Do you see the real thing? You see everything yellow. So there also you must get doubt. But normally speaking, all of us are healthy, no jaundice, and all that. Then Pratyaksha is Pramana Raja. You can depend on that. And based on Pratyaksha, Anumana is there. You must have seen a thing once somewhere. Then you can infer